If you guys remember a few years ago, Konami introduced a core set called Phantom Nightmare that introduced us to new support. Whoop. Sorry guys, dropped the card. Anyway, as I was saying, if you guys remember a few years ago, Konami announced a core set called Phantom Nightmare that introduced us to new support for her, the one and only Yu-Bell. Obviously, these are the three forms of Yu-Bell. We got the first form, we have Terra Incarnate, and then of course the Ultimate Nightmare. These are all first edition from the Legendary Collection, which originally they were going for like 50 for like almost, I think like almost like $100 for all three together. Now because that the deck has been dead for the last year or so, excuse me, those cards are worth like maybe a few dollars, which is sad. But Phantom Nightmare also introduced us to a little bit of new support for the Sacred Beast archetype, to which the Sacred Beast got its own structure deck. Yes, you heard me right. It got its own structure deck, and now, excuse me, and now we move our attention to Chaos Origin, and we have some new Sacred Beast support, which could very may well revive not only the Yu-Bell strategy, but the Sacred Beast strategy as well, to heights never thought possible. So I'm not gonna waste any time. Move my chair back up a little bit. I'm just gonna get straight into it because there are 11 cards to talk about. So let's get down to business, and we're going to kick things off with their brand new fusion known as Phantasmal Sacred Beast of Chaos. Now, interestingly enough, here is its original. And you guessed it, it's getting an overframe. You heard me right, it is getting an overframe, which looks amazing. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. I've been trying to clear my throat all morning. But it is a 10-star Dark Fiend fusion with 5,000 attack and defense, and requires 3 level 10 monsters that cannot be normal summon or set. And it says that it must be either fusion summon or special summon from your extra deck by sending the above cards you control to the grave, and you can only special summon this card once per turn this way, no matter which method you use. And it has two separate effects. The first one reads, the first 2 times this card would be destroyed by card effect each turn, it is not. The second effect is a thrice per turn and once per chain. And it's a quick effect that reads, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls, negates effects until the end of this turn, then you gain life points equal to half its attack. I mean, what can I say, right? Like, if you're able to bring out all three Sacred Beasts, excuse me, and then you just go contact fuse into this guy, then not only do you have a way to protect it from being destroyed by card effects, whether it's like Raigeki or Dark Hole or Lightning Storm or any of those cards, but you also have basically 3 copies of Imperm in one singular fusion. And not only that, but you also gain extra life points, which can actually pose a threat to your opponent, because of the fact that they want to try and win games going second. But again, if you're going first and you have this card plus plus Armitile, the Chaos Phantasm on board, you literally have 15,000 attack on board, and your opponent can't do jack shit unless if they have a way to remove them from the field, in which case you end up losing. But other than that, I mean, again, it's 3 copies of Imperm in one singular card. Enough said. Next up, we've got a retrain of the Sacred Beasts. So first one up is Uriah, Lord of Soaring Flames, Sacred Beast of Cataclysmic Fire. That is quite the name, people. Quite the name. But the artwork looks fucking badass. Holy shit. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. 10-star Fire Pyro. 0 attack and defense. And it says that it cannot be normal summoner's set and that it must be special summoned with a Sacred Beast card. The first effect is a once per turn, which reads you can reveal this card in your hand, add 1 Sacred Beast trap from your deck to your hand, then discard 1 card. Second effect says gains 1,000 attack and defense for each trap in both graveyards. Because if you guys don't know, the original version of Uriah said that it gains 1,000 attack for 1,000 attack and defense for every trap in your graveyard. This card is 10 times better. It's 10 times better because it's in both graveyards. So because that your opponent is going to be running cards like Dominus Impulse and fucking Imperm and whatnot in their main deck, going into games 2 and 3, they're going to side all of them out and bring in their hand traps, Nibiru, Ghost Bell, Ghost Ogre, whatnot. They're gonna be siding those in going into games 2 and 3 to stop your back row from ever being played in some capacity. So, but still, this card is absolutely nuts. Third effect reads, once per turn as a quick effect, you can target 1 spell or trap on the field, destroy it, and neither player can activate cards or effects in response. Oh my god! So your opponent can't even use cards like Super Poly. They can't use cards like Imperm or Dominus Impulse. They can't use anything. They can't even use any counter traps at all, which is kind of cracked. So it's essentially MST. It's essentially MST, where it's essentially MST with a 1-for-1 effect, and it gains 1,000 attack for every trap in both graveyards. That's pretty cracked. That is super cracked. Next one up is Haman, Lord of Striking Thunder, Sacred Beast of Sinful Catastrophe. Which again, the artwork looks amazing. Konami did an amazing job with the artwork. 10-star Light Thunder, 4,000 attack and defense, and it says that cannot be normal summoner set, must be special summoned with a Sacred Beast card, and the first effect is a once per turn, which reads you can reveal this card in your hand, add 1 Sacred Beast spell from your deck to your hand, then discard 1 card. Second effect, once per turn, if a monster is sent to your opponent's grave, inflict 1,000 damage to them. Third effect reads, if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can activate this effect. You take no damage for the rest of the turn. So much like So much like so so much like Uriah, this card can add a Sacred Beast spell to your hand. It can it can deal 1,000 points of damage to your opponent every time um every time a monster gets sent to your opponent's graveyard once per turn, obviously. And if this card gets popped by battle or card effect, you take no damage whatsoever for the rest of the turn. It essentially becomes a 1 day of peace, but for you, which is pretty awesome. And again, because that the Sacred Beasts are all level 10, you can use them to go into a rank 10 right off the bat, which is incredible. So I believe you can go into cards like number 84 Pain Gainer. You can go into I think what is it? Gustav Max, I think, is one which can help you rank up into Juggernaut Libe. Super Dora, I think, is another one that you can go into. There's quite a few. There's quite a few, but that's actually pretty sick. Next one up is Raviel, Lord of Phantasms, Sacred Beast of Endless Eternity, which honestly looks gorgeous. They did an amazing job with the artwork. Holy shit. Absolutely amazing. 10-star Dark Fiend, 4,000 attack and defense. Cannot be normal summoner set, must be special summoned with a Sacred Beast card. Can only use the first effect once per turn, which reads, you can reveal this card in your hand. Add one Sacred Beast monster from your deck to your hand, except this card, then discard one card. Second effect reads, once per turn, you contribute 2 other Sacred Beast monsters, destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible, and if you do, this card gains 1,000 attack for each card destroyed by this effect. Yeah, so this can basically help win games, which is nasty. Enough said. I mean, you're basically able to. You're literally able to tribute two other Sacred Beast monsters, which you can tribute Dark Beckoning Beast and Chaos Summoning Beast to pop your opponent's entire board, and as long as they don't have a way to negate it, this card's attack can go up by like 6,000, which this card can have up to 10,000 attack. So even if your opponent found a way to sorry guys, I thought I was gonna belch. As long as they don't have a way to negate this effect or find a way to cut its attack in half, you could potentially have a 10,000 attack beater, which can basically deal the lethal blow to your opponent, which is nuts. This is nuts. And what's even more funny, what's even more funny is that if you have chaos summoning beasts, I think the rule is that you can tribute it to summon out one of these 3 guys, and that's pretty much it. I think that's the rule. I could be wrong, but I think that might be it. But still, that's kind of cracked. Next up, we have the Orchestrator of the Sacred Beasts. Yeah, you guys all thought it was going to be a spell or something. Nope, it's a monster. It's a monster. 8-star Light Thunder with 2,300 attack, 3,000 defense, and all 3 of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads you can reveal this card in your hand, discard one card, and if you do, special summon a Sacred Beast monster from your hand in defense, except a level A monster. Excuse me. Okay, so unfortunately now we know you don't that you have to use this card in particular to summon out to summon out one of the three new retrains, which is actually pretty good because if you open with this plus another another one of the retrains, you essentially have game. You like it's full full combo. It's GG. Second effect reads you can discard one card, special summon one Sacred Beast monster from hand or grave in defense, except a level A monster or the discarded card. Third effect reads you can banish the card from your grave, special summon one Sacred Beast monster from your grave in defense, except a level A monster. Okay, can I just say this might be one of the most insane cards I've ever seen, because again, all three effects let you summon a Sacred Beast. So if you open with this card plus a card like, let's say, Fool's Burial, and a way to send another Sacred Beast to your graveyard, you can actually use all three of this card's effects in the same turn. And you literally get to summon out all three Sacred Beasts to your board, and your end board can literally just be that, set two or whatever, pull off your combos, and pass your turn. Literally, that's literally all you get to do just off of one card. And this card is literally a one card combo, which is insane. It is nuts. And what's even more funny is that if you watched the GX anime in season 1, in the second half of season 1, the last few episodes of it, Kagemaru, the Duel Academy's superintendent, actually had a copy of the creator in his deck, which actually makes it even more funny. Because again, if you guys notice the artwork, this guy right here basically resembles the creator, which was a card that was printed in Rise of Destiny. I think it was printed in Rise of Destiny, which was released in 2005. So that's kind of cracked. That's actually kind of insane. Next up, we have Martyr of the Sacred Beasts. Excuse me. Which is a 1-star Dark Fiend with 0 attack and defense, and all three of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, if this card is normal or special summon, you can place one Sacred Beast field spell or continuous spell or trap from your deck face up on your field. Second effect reads, if you control another Sacred Beast monster, you can special summon 2 Martyr of the Sacred Beasts from your hand, deck, or grave. Third effect reads, during your opponent's end phase, if this card and a level 10 Sacred Beast monster are in your graveyard, excuse me, you can add this card to your hand. So funny enough, this card is actually perfect going second. So this is definitely a really good like side deck card going into game 2, because if you open with this plus creator and let's say a copy of Raviel, you can literally go creator effect, you can You can go creator effect, pitch a card, which could be anything. Special summon Raviel from your hand. Then go normal summon Martyr effect to to play the field spell, which is cracked, and then go second effect of Martyr to summon out 2 more copies of Martyr, and then you would go Raviel effect to tribute 2 copies of Martyr, nuke the opponent's entire board of monsters, give Raviel the extra attack, and then go Harpy's Feather Duster if you have it in hand, remove their back row, and then just attack for game. Like literally that's literally all you get, all you do. That's literally all you do. Which again, it's an insane, like, what, 1 card, 2 card combo? That's kind of cracked. That is absolutely cracked. And also during the end phase, you get to add this card back to your hand from your graveyard. So if you have cards like let's say Pot of Avarice, you can go Avarice, take the Martyrs, put them all back into your deck, and 3 other monsters, draw 2, normal summon Martyr again, and you get to repeat that cycle over and over again because of the fact that Pot of Avarice in modern Yu-Gi-Oh is I think maxed out at 3 copies if I remember right. So that's kind of cracked. That's kind of cracked. I will say though that it's interesting to say the very least. 1, 2, 3, 5 more? Yes, we are down to the last 5 cards of this video, so let's get down to it. Next up, we have Unleashing the Sacred Beasts. Which is a normal spell, and both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, add 3 Sacred Beast monsters with different names from your deck to your hand, then discard 2 cards. Second effect reads, if this card is in your grave, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it, add 1 level 10 Pyro, Thunder, or Fiend that cannot be normal summoned or set from your deck to your hand. So this is literally Graceful Charity Rhoda. This is literally Graceful Charity Rhoda. Literally, that's all this card is. It's literally Graceful Charity Rhoda. And the best part is that if you end up opening with the creator, excuse me, you essentially have yourself a very powerful turn 1 play, which is cracked. Next up, excuse me. Next up, we have Fallen Paradise of the Sacred Beasts, which is essentially a retrain of the original version of Fallen Paradise, to which the first TCG printing of Fallen Paradise was, I believe, Duelist Saga, if you can believe it, which I did do an opening of that a long time ago here on the channel. So if you haven't checked out that video or videos, I recommend you guys check them out. They're buried somewhere in my pile of videos, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. But the second effect is a once per turn, but the first effect is a thrice per turn, meaning you can use it 3 times in the same turn, which reads you can send 3 other cards of the same type, monster, spell, or trap from your hand and or face the field to the grave. Then you can special summon 1 Sacred Beast monster from your hand, deck, or grave, or banishment. And if you do, it is unaffected by your opponent's activated spell or trap effects. Second effect reads, if you control a Sacred Beast monster whose original level is 10, draw 2. Excuse me. so so this is essentially an easy way to not only summon out one of the three new sacred beasts, but you also essentially get a pedigree, which is similar to the original version of Fallen Paradise, where with that version it protects the sacred beast from being destroyed. I think being targeted. I think by card effects, and then and then once per turn during your main once per turn during your turn, you get to draw two cards, which is kind of insane. Next up, we have Skyfire of the Sacred Beasts, which I believe works for Haman, as if we couldn't even tell by the look of the artwork. Which again, I think it works with Haman, but I think it could just work with any of the other Sacred Beasts. But it is a continuous spell with both of its effects being a once per turn. The first effect reads: during your main phase, you can place two Skyfire the Sacred Beasts from your hand, deck, and/or grave face up on your field. Then you can reveal one level 10 Sacred Beast monster in your hand. Then you can place one Fallen Paradise of the Sacred Beast from your deck face up in your field zone. Second effect reads: during your opponent's end phase, if this card is in your grave, you can add it to your hand. Okay. So interestingly enough, you can actually add two more copies of this card from your hand, deck, or grave to your board face up, which can ultimately help you summon out a Sacred Beast, which is pretty insane. And what's even more cool is that during your opponent's end phase, if this card were to be sent to your graveyard by the effect of let's say Harpy's Feather Duster or Lightning Storm or whatever, you can add this card to your hand. But I think you can only add one copy, I believe. I'm not so sure of the ruling. I believe you can you're only allowed to add one. I'm not entirely sure, but still, I mean, being able to just automatically terraforming metaverse, if you will, your own field spell to your field zone, pretty cracked. Next up, we have Destruction Chant of the Sacred Beasts, which actually looks kind of cool because it's basically Uriah attacking Elemental Hero Tempest, which is so cool. That already looks amazing. And it is a normal trap with both of its effects being a once per turn. The first effect reads: special summon one Sacred Beast monster from your hand or grave in defense. Then, if you control two or more Sacred Beast monsters whose original level is 10, you can negate the effects of one face-up card your opponent controls, and if you do, destroy it. Second effect reads: you can banish the card from your grave. Fusion summon one Phantasm Fusion from your extra using monsters from your hand or field. So not only is this a cyber ref system with an imperm and a pop in one effect, but in the second effect you essentially have yourself a polymerization, which is kind of nuts. I mean, literally just off of that second effect alone, you can bring this guy out without any hassle whatsoever, which is nuts. But that brings us to the final card of the video, and it is known as Divine Abyss of the Sacred Beasts, which is a continuous trap. And the first and third effects are both once per turn. The first effect reads, during the main phase, you can place two copies of itself from your hand, deck, or grave face up on your field. Second effect reads, you can send 3 face-up copies of this card you control to the grave, including this card, then target a face-up monster your opponent controls, change it to face-down defense. Third effect reads, during your opponent's end phase, if this card is in your grave, you can place it on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so this is actually pretty cool because if all 3 copies are in your graveyard, then during each of your opponent's end phases, you can literally put them back into the deck. And if you end up searching and you draw one of them out, it's essentially an endless loop, and you're able to also basically book of Moon one of your opponent's monsters, which is absolutely amazing. And what's cool is that these new cards, they can very may well revive the Sacred Beast deck. Actually, they could potentially even also revive the Yubel deck as well, making Yubel decks 10 times stronger than ever before, which is possible, but we'll have to wait and see. But with that being said, that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.